I still drive nights. Most people my age have stopped. They sit in their living rooms with the television on and call it enough. I have tried that. The quiet in those rooms is the wrong kind of quiet. It presses down on you. It reminds you that time is passing and you are just watching it go. The city after midnight is different. People think it is louder. They are wrong. It is more honest. The ones who get into my cab at this hour are not performing for anyone. They are too tired or too relieved or too far gone for that. They just sit, they breathe, and when they talk, they say things they mean. I have been driving these streets for 43 years. I started at 25, back when the city still smelled like itself. The buildings got taller, the neighborhoods got expensive, the people got faster. But the back seat of a cab stays the same, a small dark room that moves. And small dark rooms have a way of making people tell the truth. I am 68 now. My daughter calls it semi-retired. What I call it is, I drive when I want, and I stop when I do not. 3 nights a week, sometimes 4. My knees talk to me on the long shifts. My back joins in around the 2-hour mark. I do not stop, not yet. The whole truth of why I keep going is harder to say than I like to admit. 40 years behind this wheel, you collect something. Not money, not miles, pieces of people. Moments that did not belong to me, but that I was there for. I think about them on the quiet stretches, the bridge at 3 in the morning, the tunnel, with no traffic, hands on the wheel, and nothing but the engine. There was a woman I picked up years ago, somewhere in the mid-2000s, I think. February. The kind of cold that finds you through layers. She came out of a hospital exit on the east side. Blue scrubs, a coat doing very little for her. She walked to the cab, like her feet had already filed a complaint. I remember one thing clearly, before she even opened the door. She had her phone out. She looked at it once. Then she put it away, without doing anything, without calling anyone, without sending anything. Just put it away and got in. Her name was Linda Hayes. She told me that later. She got in and pulled the door shut and sat there. Coat still on, bag in her lap, hands pressed together between her knees. Early 40s, I would say. The kind of face that looked like it used to rest more. She was not sick, just spent. There is a difference, and after 40 years, you stop confusing the two. Her sneakers were the kind nurses wear, white, thick-soled, built for 12 hours on linoleum. They were clean. That told me something. Even at this hour, even this tired, she kept things in order. Some people are like that. The outside stays maintained, no matter what is happening further in. She did not give me an address. I did not ask. There is a kind of passenger who needs a minute before they can say where they are going. It is not confusion. It is something else. They get into the cab, and for a moment, they are in between. Not at work. Not yet home, just suspended. And sometimes that suspension is the only rest they are going to get. The meter ran. I waited. She rubbed her hands together slowly, not shivering exactly, more automatic than that, a habit the cold had built into her, without permission. She looked out the window at the hospital entrance she had come through, the sliding doors, the yellow light. She looked at it the way you look at a place that took something from you, not with anger, just acknowledgement. Then she checked her phone again, same as before, looked at it and put it back. I noticed that, did not know what it meant. She took a breath and gave me the address, Staten Island, quietly, like a person who was not entirely sure they were ready to go there yet. I pulled out. She went back to her hands. I went back to driving. She did not talk right away. That was fine. We got onto the bridge approach, and she set her hands flat on her bag, the body deciding to let go of something the mind had not agreed to yet. She said something about the coffee machine on her floor, broken for 2 weeks. Nobody had fixed it. She had been walking down 3 flights every break, just to get something that tasted, she said, coffee adjacent. I smiled at that. Small, just enough. She talked about the lights next. Hospital lights do something to you over a long shift. They do not flicker. They do not dim. They stay on, full and flat and indifferent, the same at 7 in the morning as at 7 at night. After 12 hours, you stop knowing what time feels like. You know the floor. You know the sound the carts make. You know the lights. She said nobody notices nurses until they need one. She did not say it with bitterness. Just fact. A thing she had made her peace with a long time ago. Invisible until someone is scared. Then you are everything. Then the moment passes, and you are nothing again. I kept my eyes on the road. She was quiet for a stretch. The kind of quiet that meant she was deciding whether to keep going or pull back. Then she said something that I did not expect. She said her son had not called her back that day. She said it plainly. He never called when she was on shift. She knew that. She was not asking for sympathy. She was just putting the fact somewhere outside of herself. Into the cab. Into the space between us, where things could sit without explanation. I did not say anything. She looked out the window at the water below the bridge, dark and flat and moving. She said he is a good kid, like she was reassuring someone, like she needed to establish that before she could say whatever came next, or like she was reminding herself. I listened to the engine. I let her have the silence. Halfway to Staten Island, she asked me to stop somewhere. She already had her bag open, looking for her wallet. She knew what she needed. She just needed me to make it possible. There was a 24-hour grocery a few blocks up, I told her. She said that works. I pulled in and parked at the curb, left the meter running. She got out without asking me to wait. Just got out and went through the sliding doors with her bag over her shoulder and her coat pulled around her. I watched the entrance for a while. Then I watched the street. A woman walking fast in the other direction. A bodega across the way with its lights full on and nobody inside but the man at the counter looking at his phone. The city at this hour is a series of small lights inside a larger dark. There is always someone awake somewhere. Always a window with something going on behind it. I have always found that more comforting than I can explain. Linda came out about 10 minutes later. A plastic bag in each hand. A small bouquet of flowers tucked under one arm. The kind they sell near the checkout. Cellophane wrapped. Mixed colors. Not expensive. The kind that are mostly about the act of buying them. She got back in. Set everything on the seat beside her. Arranged the bags without looking at me. I did not ask. She did not explain right away. We drove in the same quiet as before. Comfortable by then. The silence between two people who have no reason to perform for each other. Then she said it. He turns 17 tomorrow. She said it toward the window, not to me, almost to herself. I said congratulations. She made a sound that was almost a laugh. Then she said she had missed dinner. Her shift ran long. There was a patient at the end, and you do not leave in the middle of that. You stay. So, dinner became not possible. And now, it was past 2 in the morning, and tomorrow had already started. She looked down at the flowers in her lap. She said she just wanted him to wake up and see something there. On the table, so he would know she had thought about it. She said that quietly. Then she said, nothing else. I heard something in it I could not quite name. We did not talk much after that. She had said the real thing. Sometimes that is enough. A person carries something for hours and it comes out in a few sentences, and after that the air changes. Not lighter, just more settled. Like a room after a window has been opened and closed again. She sat with the flowers across her knees and the bags beside her and watched the lights of the island come up ahead. I thought about her son, 17 and asleep somewhere, not knowing his mother was on a bridge at 2 in the morning with grocery store flowers and a box of cereal, not understanding what the night had asked of her. Kids that age rarely do. That is not a fault. You do not understand what someone gives up for you until you have given something up yourself. But I also thought about the phone. The way she had looked at it twice and put it away both times without doing anything. I did not know what that meant. Maybe she had been about to call him and decided against it. Maybe there was someone else she had considered calling and thought better of it. Maybe it meant nothing. I have been wrong before. You spend 40 years reading people in the back seat and you start to think you are good at it. Sometimes you are. Sometimes you are just telling yourself a story about a stranger. When we arrived, I pulled up to the building and stopped. She gathered her things and got out. She paid and thanked me, and I told her to take care of herself. She nodded in a way that suggested she would try. I watched her go up the front steps, one bag in each hand, the flowers jostling slightly with each step, moving slowly, not hesitating, the tired of a person who still has one more thing left to do. She went inside. A minute later, a light came on in a window on the second floor. One light, warm behind the glass. I sat there longer than I needed to. I do not know what I was waiting to see. Eventually, I pulled away, back across the bridge, back into the city. I am 68 years old. I have driven more miles than I can count. I have carried thousands of people through the middle of their lives without ever knowing how those lives turned out. I still think about that woman, the flowers, the light in the window. I still think about the phone,